Homer fell in love with a famous painting. He admired it from every angle, striking different poses as if he couldn't get enough. From that day on, the painting consumed his thoughts. To snap him out of it, Bart pulled down his pants, hoping to wake Homer up, but in Homer's eyes, Bart's but looked like a work of art. Later, the painting went up for auction. Homer put on a suit and joined the bidding. He went back and forth with two wealthy men, until finally, a woman bought the painting for $15 million. Homer was devastated. Determined to get the painting back, he tried to steal it, but security stopped him. The next day, the painting was carefully packed and sent to the rich woman's mansion. But when she opened the box, the painting was gone. The staff immediately called in a famous detective to investigate. His first suspect was Homer, but Homer insisted he was busy. To test him, the detective tossed a cup onto the floor. Homer dove to protect it.
You're right. I'd do anything to have that painting. Lie, kill, steal. Well, not kill, but I would steal it and then lie about it. I didn't steal it, and I'm not lying. Believe me or I'll kill you.
Wanting to learn more about him, the detective visited the Simpsons' home for dinner. Bart noticed Homer had disappeared.
In all my years as an investigator, I've never seen a trellis take such a pounding.
The detective tracked him down at the museum.
By providing one crucial fact, you're too dumb to steal anything.
Maybe I did check it.
Trust me, you didn't.
I could have.
He then gathered all the suspects together. The detective accused the woman of stealing the painting. She had insured it for $30 million, and the guards she hired turned out to be twins.
That's the last impossible mystery you'll ever solve.
Just when everyone thought the case was solved, the detective destroyed the painting. It wasn't real, it was just a canvas bag. It turned out Lisa had snuck backstage during the auction. She swapped the painting with her own canvas bag. The real masterpiece was hidden in her bedroom all along. Bart saw a monster tearing apart the school bus. He immediately ran to tell Milhouse, but Milhouse didn't believe him. So Bart went to Otto, who glanced out the window and only saw a small car. Otto swerved the bus to push the car aside.
I just made my last payment.
But when Bart looked again, the monster had already ripped off one of the headlights. Bart shouted to everyone that there was a monster outside, but nobody else could see it.
Hey, who's driving the bus?
Un momento, por favor.
Principal Skinner warned Bart to stop pulling pranks. Terrified by the monster's threat, Bart panicked when he saw it loosening the lug nuts on the wheels. He screamed for Otto to stop the bus, but Skinner pinned him down and tied him up with a rope. Bart licked a classmate's ice cream, and the classmate kindly helped untie him. Seeing that the wheels were about to fall off, Bart spotted the emergency flare at his feet and grabbed it to scare the monster away. When Skinner and another teacher tried to hold him back, the flare slipped from Bart's hands and landed on the monster. Engulfed in flames, the monster fled from the bus and collided with Ned Flanders' car. Flanders quickly got out, checked on the creature, and wrapped it in his jacket. When they arrived at school, everyone was shocked to see the damaged bus. Skinner touched one of the wheels and it immediately fell off. Only then did he realize Bart had been telling the truth. But despite that, Skinner still had Bart sent to a mental hospital. Just as Bart let out a sigh of relief, the monster appeared at the window, holding Flanders' severed head in its hand. Homer went missing, and Marge didn't even realize that Maggie had climbed out of her crib. Maggie slid down the stairs and landed right on Santa's little helper, who immediately ran off with her to search for Homer. They traveled across the whole city, climbed up a hill, swam through a river, and finally Maggie spotted Homer's hair on the ground, leading her to find him locked away in a basement. Maggie hooked a grappling line onto the window bars, and when a crane driver started up his vehicle, the wall collapsed, allowing her to rescue Homer. But
Maggie, you did all this?
why was Homer locked up in the first place? A few days earlier, he had become Springfield's tow truck driver, responsible for hauling away illegally parked cars. His attitude on the job sparked outrage among the townspeople, who gathered at Moe's Tavern to come up with a way to teach him a lesson. First, they pushed a car into the neighboring town and covered it with tickets. Then they swapped the street signs so it looked like the car belonged in Springfield. Soon enough, Homer found the car.
Multiple tickets, handicapped spot, parked by a hydrant, incomprehensible vanity plate. In my life as a tow truck driver where a teleplay, this would be the end of Act 2.
Just as he hooked it up to his tow truck, the rival tow driver from the other town showed up. Moe quickly pulled down the blinds, while the rival, determined to protect his territory, knocked Homer out. He then hung Homer on a tow hook to rough him up, and finally locked him inside his basement.